Hello, everybody. I got some crazy hair, and Vinny's got some awesome hair,
Yes,
like
sir.
he always does.
That's what I do.
Welcome to You Heard It Here, Triple Dot, eventually.
Welcome.
I
Happy New
wanted to
Year's.
change it up. Happy New Year. Happy New Year,
It
one and
is
all.
our first episode after the new year, or not coming out, but first that we're recording. We're finally caught up. Like this will come out the next week after we record it. It'll come out in a couple days. So we're at the point where it's record up, and we're not talking about things that are 3 weeks old.
Yeah, I wasn't even really thinking of it, but like, thank God we were exactly 3 weeks
Yeah,
up. We should do that leading up to the holidays, though,
every year. Yeah, just record 3 in a week.
for next year too. Because there's a good chance. Well, it was weird this year because our normal recording day is Saturday, and that was Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve,
Yeah,
back-to-back weeks. I mean, they're always 7 days apart, but it just so happened that
it
we're
was
recording
Saturday.
on Saturdays.
Yeah,
So
was a little stressful, but we had the backlog, so we were good.
yeah,
Yeah, but I guess let's just get right into it. Do you want to start with the big titty, or you want to do the New Year's,
I
or
want to do
your
my well,
your
no, I want to
your
do my
first?
the things I was talking about just
Okay,
because they're fresh on my mind.
yeah.
Uh, so last night, I I think this is something that anyone with a dog can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know, like where they're located. But we had a tick scare last night. We My parents live middle of bumblefuck New Jersey, like nowhere. I always hated living there,
Mm-hmm.
and I always hated doing yard work because, like, I would find ticks on me, not on me, but like on my clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and I would always be a big bitch about it and like run away, scared, screaming like Cam from Modern Family. Hands flying in the air, ripping my clothes off, and I would hate it so much. Whenever my old dog buddy would get a tick on him, we would always take it off. He had the tick prevention medicine, so they died. But we would take it off, and I would always be like, "Oh, he might have another one. I'm not going to touch him for a couple of days." So I always felt bad about that. But so we're there yesterday because it's also Orthodox Christmas
Mm-hmm.
day. Yesterday,
Oh,
we're recording
right.
this on Sunday, January 8th. Orthodox Christmas is the 7th. My dad is Ukrainian Orthodox. We follow that. Like his family follows that calendar. So we always celebrate it. So
Did you
me
get
and my
2
girlfriend were
Christmases?
there. Yes, I always got 2 Christmases.
God damn.
It was nice. I mean, it's not like I got a lot more. I'm sure it was just I got a little bit less, and then I got the rest.
Yeah.
Um, but we're there with the dogs. We have to walk them, and I've done extensive research on ticks because of living at my parents' house. All right, extensive.
Mm-hmm.
I still learned stuff last night, but still. So I always thought their active season was like April or May to October, the
Mm-hmm.
warm months. But we've been unseasonably warm. I didn't factor that into account.
Wow.
Basically, a deer tick, which is the one with Lyme disease, everybody, you know, the more you know, uh, they are active above freezing year round. And of
Oh.
course, it was 38 degrees instead of 32 yesterday. So we walk the dogs. Everything's fine. We get back to our apartment and we clean Zeus's ears because we're supposed to do it once a month and we didn't do it on the first like we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally decided, yeah, let's do it. Thank God we did. We clean his ears and I'm like sitting around on the bed and I just feel like my leg hair. I feel something there. So I just go and scratch it, normal just thing. And I pick my hand up, bam, right on my finger is a tick.
How
And of
big are they? Like
course,
like smaller than flies, right? I've never seen a tick.
no, they don't fly. They
No,
don't
but
fly.
how big are they? Like a size of flies?
Um, to show you a size comparison, on the fingernail, they'd probably be like that big on your
Gotcha.
fingernail.
Okay.
They are tiny.
Yeah.
The deer tick are really tiny, but the females that are different colors, this one was solid black, so it's probably a male. They're way less likely to give you Lyme disease. But I saw it, and instead of just being calm, going to the toilet, sticking my hand right in there, right into the poop or something, I fling, like, reaction, cling it off. It's gone. It's in some of my laundry somewhere, probably. Who knows? Karina hates ticks also. We are freaking out. We go get the vacuum. We start vacuuming up. It's like 1 a.m. So our neighbors are probably thinking to themselves, these assholes vacuuming at 1 a.m. We're pushing Zeus off the bed because it might have been on him. We're checking Kira because she has white fur, so we can actually see them. Zeus is pure black, so you can't see any kind of tick on him. And then we proceeded to go find the tick stuff, like for pets that we spray on them. They hate it. They left the room immediately when they saw the bottle. We sprayed the whole room down. I sprayed every inch of the bed. I basically created a moat around the bed. That tick ain't getting up there. This is after we vacuumed and threw out the garbage just in case we got it. We couldn't find it again. I couldn't see it. I put my 2 clothes that were on the floor into the laundry. We put it on a sanitary wash today so it boils the shit out of the thing, and then we'll throw it in the dryer and make it all frizzy. And then I proceeded to be awake for 4 hours, laying in bed with the lights on, slept the whole time with the lights on, just watching, waiting to see if I could find it again. If I had never flicked it off my hand and I just put it in a drain somewhere or something, I would have been totally fine. I would have slept like a baby, but oh man. Tick scares are the worst. Oh my God. We still don't want to be in the bedroom. We're not sure where it is. As soon as we're done recording podcast, me and Karina are basically cleaning our entire apartment.
Yeah.
Like from top to bottom. We have to put all our Christmas stuff away anyway. Because for Orthodox calendars and even for other, there's a lot of cultures in the world where they follow the normal December 25th Christmas, but they still recognize the Orthodox calendar. So you'll see a lot of places where they say, oh, you can't take the tree down until January 7th. There's like some other tradition. It's not necessarily Orthodox Christmas, but they have a tradition of eating this certain bread on this certain day, and that's when you take your Christmas stuff down. It all usually kind of relates to the Orthodox calendar, so it was a way of merging religions, I guess, back 1,000 years ago or something.
Yeah, we were up at the same time then, because I was binging Modern Family until 3 in the morning. So
just
my 3
so we
a.m.
could do that.
My 3 a.m. is your 4 a.m. So
yeah, Karina fell asleep because I was on night duty. I was on guard duty, so she started sleeping. It was probably the best sleep she's had in a while too, because I was the one sitting up in bed reading tons of articles on ticks. I found out, and this is the more you know thing. Ticks, for the most part, are 3-bite life cycles. They only feed 3 times in their lives. When they need to change stages from like larva to nymph, and then when they change stages from nymph to adult, and then when it's breeding time. So the men might not even feed off of you unless they need energy to bang or something.
Whoa.
But the women feed a lot, and then they need all that blood and energy to lay their thousands of eggs. Thousands.
Yeah,
okay, you heard that right. Thousands.
Do they do anything good like bees, or can we just
No.
get rid of them?
No. If we had a Horizon Zero Dawn situation, Gaia's system, I would get on the team and I would say, no ticks.
No ticks.
Get rid of the fucking ticks. That would be my contribution to the future human civilization.
What can we get rid of? Like, do flies do anything good?
They feed the spiders that also eat other insects, I guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Flies probably a lot of animals that are just disease transmitters are herd thinners, I think.
Oh, okay.
So Lyme disease, for example, won't kill you, but if it goes untreated, it'll like make you feeble for your whole life, basically.
Yeah.
So you want to get it treated within the first few months, and you'll be able to tell. You'll get the rash like 60% of the time. Otherwise, you get flu-like symptoms. You're really fatigued. So if you're just not feeling good, you go to the doctor and you say, "Hey, I live in a tick-infested area. They'll do blood work probably and check."
Mm-hmm.
So, but where we live now, it wouldn't be. So if we went to a doctor around here, they wouldn't think that right away. So we would have to tell them, "Hey, I visited my parents out in Bumblefuck, and they have ticks in Bumblefuck. So like, come on, bring on the blood test."
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever
horrible.
had a tick scare like that.
Oh my God, I hate bugs of all kind. I'm a city boy who doesn't want to live in the city. I like to live urbanized.
Oh yeah,
suburbs.
Listen, I'm a suburb boy through and through. Fuck the city. I think living in the city is foolish, and also living.
Well,
in the
your
country
city's Chicago.
No, okay, listen.
That's a dangerous one.
No, that's too. Chicago isn't dangerous. Like, yeah, Chicago has dangerous parts, but if I go down to the city, I'm not about to get freaking blickied with a gat, because it's it could happen anywhere.
It could happen anywhere. Especially, I mean, it could definitely happen anywhere, but
Like,
Chicago just has a very bad rep.
Yeah, everyone's out here like, oh, did you get fitted for a new bulletproof vest going to the city? No, I did it.
And that's why you're going to die to bullets.
Probably.
Always bring your bulletproof vest.
I know. What am I thinking?
I wear my bulletproof cup all the time. I don't care about my body, but my penis must stay intact.
Exactly, so they can harvest it when you die.
Yeah, well, they have to use it as the mold for all future humans that are going to be genetically engineered, of course.
There you go.
Um, but yeah, no, I hate ticks. We're still basically in stage DEFCON. What highest DEFCON is 4 or 1? I don't know. I think it's 1.
I
So
think
we're
it's
in
1.
DEFCON 2 probably
Damn.
about this tick. We were at DEFCON 1 last night. Like DEFCON 1 would probably be actually burning down the apartment and leaving. So we've probably were at high DEFCON 2. Now we're at medium to low DEFCON 2.
That's crazy. So wait, then this is not new tech treatment. That's something else.
No,
Those two aren't related.
they're not related. There's just
Oh,
another
okay.
thing that I thought of yesterday. But hold on, I have to send a. Oh my god, what is it? Oh my god, okay, I think I know it.
What happened? What are
I
you
have to
sending?
send the Wi-Fi password.
Oh.
Karina's setting up a computer for her new job, and she has to get on the computer.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, podcast.
Okay, I did it.
Oh, okay.
So we're
I couldn't
all right.
install.
Yeah. So moving on from the tick scare, just I want to get that out there because I want everyone to know that I am horrified of ticks. I don't know why, but I needed everyone to know that it's horrible. If anyone who's watching this is a hunter and is like, "Oh, ticks, who cares about ticks?" Maybe you have some sort of Lyme vaccine I've never heard of before, and I would really love to get so that I didn't have to be deathly afraid of ticks. But just
Wait, so what is Lyme
F
disease?
you.
Is it like rabies where if it goes untreated it'll kill you?
It won't kill you, but well, it can be problematic. But I think if it causes not neurological, but like nerve kind of damage.
Oh, okay.
You might get like shaky, and it might be really hard for you to retain energy and like strengthen yourself. I think if you had Lyme disease and you were a professional bodybuilder, you basically have to quit if you didn't
Oh,
treat it fast
yeah.
enough. I think that it just affects you long term effects would be like long term feeling fatigued all the time and basically like anemia, probably like if
Oh,
you were
okay.
anemic.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, the last time I researched the actual effects of Lyme disease, it was like 10 years ago when I lived there. I was looking up just the ticks to make sure that this was a tick. I looked at so many pictures of ticks last night, like for hours.
That's crazy.
Sizes, I know all about Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which is in dog ticks, which I was trying to compare to the deer tick.
Wait, there's
then-
there's deer tick, dog ticks, and human ticks. It's not just one that bites you all.
No, dog ticks are only named that. They're really brown ticks. They're only named that. Welcome to the tick episode, everybody. They're only really named that because they primarily are found on dogs. It's
Okay.
almost disproportionate. It's almost as if they target dogs, but they don't really. It's just that they're always found in dogs. They could bite a human if they ended up on a human.
So wait, but the
Deer
one that bit
tick-
you, could it bite your dogs?
Yeah, it probably
Oh.
was on my dogs,
Oh,
but
okay.
we use the ear cleaner and it smells kind of like alcohol. And the way that you remove ticks, there's another little factoid. When you're removing them, if they're in your skin and you want them and you don't want to just pull them out, you're afraid you'll break off the head because if you break off the head, it could still like keep giving you the potential to get infected.
What the?
You need to get the head out. What you can do is you can soak a cotton ball in something. A lot of people use alcohol. That's what we used to use, and you just kind of cover the tick with that. It suffocates them because they breathe through their carapace or whatever it's called on the side, and so they back out because they're. Another way is a lot of people used to light matches and put them out and then hit the end of the tick, so it would think that it was near a fire and it would try to back out to save itself. If you use alcohol, you might actually make the tick throw up and reintroduce all the potentially infected blood back into your system. You want to get it to remove itself before it has a chance to really put blood back in your system, because when it feeds, sometimes it will like regurgitate blood back into you. So alcohol will make it likely to do that. So what people say online is, or what it used to be, was use dish soap. It'll still suffocate it, but it won't give it that. It won't like cause it to react via like the blood back in you. But there's also I read about there's some tick from Asia that was introduced recently and they have no idea how and they're still studying the effects. So I'm terrified of that one also. Longhorned tick or something. And then there's a Lone Star tick. The Lone Star tick just has a one white dot on its back and it's aggressive. Most ticks will just like kind of hang out on high grass and shrubs and they'll wait for a target to brush up against it and they'll just jump onto it basically.
And is that only Texas, the Lone Star one?
No, it's everywhere.
Oh.
It didn't get its name from Texas. It got its name from its little one white dot on its back.
Okay.
and it's aggressive. It hunts prey. So it
That's
goes
crazy.
towards sources of carbon dioxide and vibration, and it attacks them, and it swarms them. Groups of them will attack you. So if you
Instinct
get
is
one,
crazy.
there's a chance that you might get more. The only reason I would ever want to move to Canada would be to get away from ticks. I've
Are,
contemplated it.
do they
I
have no
like
ticks?
ticks don't like the cold weather, so if you
Oh,
go
true.
really northern Canada, you're basically going to a place where only for a few months out of the year it's above the level where they would want to be active and mate and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm like out of breath thinking about the ticks still. I don't know. But we can move on so that I stop
Yeah.
creating psychological terror for myself.
16 minutes into the episode, we're done with the ticks.
Yeah, so we'll go over new tech treatment really fast then. So the reason that this actually came up because yesterday, so I bought a new tablet, the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus,
Mm-hmm.
because it was on a huge sale on Amazon, and Best Buy and everywhere, but they sold out. It wasn't anywhere, so I bought it on Amazon because they'll restock themselves faster.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the original estimate was end of January, early February, and they updated it. I got it yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that.
Nice.
I didn't buy a cover and I didn't buy a screen protector because I've never seen one of these tablets. I thought maybe it's like a Fire tablet and it'll be a little sturdier. No, this thing feels like it's the most fragile piece of equipment in the world. So I opened it, I set it up, and now it's just resting on top of the dog crate, cushioned by some shirts and like leaning up against the plushie. I'm not touching it until I get that screen protector. I did all the setup stuff. But my new tech treatment, because there's that. So I went out. My dad wanted new headphones. Well, let me give you a whole story. I'm gonna give you a TLDR version, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Karina had a watch, an Active 2. It broke while we were watching the dogs. The screens just stopped working. So she wanted to get a new watch, and she has this company reward system where they get a certain number of points and they can redeem them for a shop that might be linked to Amazon or something else. The only watch that they had on there was the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro.
Gotcha.
And she likes smaller watches. I said to her, "Do you know how big that watch is?" She said no. And then we went to a Target store, and I said, "Come here, I want to show you what this is. The biggest watch they make." So she pulls her wrist up against it, and she goes, "My God, what have I done?" And I was like, "Listen, I will take that one. That's fine. I have the Watch 5, the regular one, but it's the larger model." She didn't want that either, so I used Best Buy's Geek Squad protection plan, which is basically a free upgrade plan if you don't break your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just tell them, yeah, it's disconnecting from my the Bluetooth isn't working very well. It's disconnecting from my phone periodically, and I don't like it. So they just give you store credit for the monetary value of the watch.
Wow.
So we got that back. We bought her a 40 millimeter watch, and then I bought myself with the remainder plus some money the Galaxy Buds Pro 2 Pro.
Wow.
Because I have the Buds Pro, they're really big and heavy. She has the Buds too. They're really small and lightweight, but they kind of fall out of her ears. So I got this to test it out, and if these are good, we'll probably also end up getting her a pair because she works out like crazy. So it's more beneficial to her. Maybe I'll just give her these, and I'll take the purple, the little pink purple Buds. But anyway, so we do all the watch stuff. I refuse to wear watches until I get liquid glass cleaner. So I don't know. I kind of want to talk to you. Are you as ridiculously careful with your stuff?
No. Like,
Because I won't open this thing until I get
that's
so the
insane.
liquid. Have you heard the liquid glass? It's just
No.
like a wipe on screen protector. Like you put it on almost like via like a cleaning cloth,
Mm-hmm.
and then you buff it out, and it's a thin layer, but it also gets when it's a curved surface, it's easier to do because it gets in all the nooks and crannies and it will cover the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a flat screen protector, maybe they make it for the watch and the side bevel isn't covered or something like that.
No, yeah, I'm like, in terms of my phone and iPad, I have a case. That's it. Don't care about screen protectors. Nothing's just turned on. I don't know why. Like I'm never. It never falls. Sometimes it falls off my bed because I
Do you
don't have
travel with it?
Yeah.
You travel with it, right? Yeah.
Like my Steam Deck don't have a screen protector for that. Really, screen protectors I don't fuck with because I don't like how they look. Is the main thing.
Well, if they're put on correctly, they're good. But for example, I have the Best Buy is partnered with like this company called Zag,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get one of their protectors, it comes with a coverage where Best Buy, if it gets that messed up, like you get scratched or breaks or it comes off, they'll replace it for you. You pay $8 for your installation fee or whatever, but you don't pay 40 for another screen protector.
Mm-hmm.
They messed this up. They had two. They messed up the first one and discarded it, and then this one, it's off center, so it's like coming up on the edge. They said if that doesn't settle, which no fucking shit, it won't.
Yeah. On a house.
Yeah. We'll order you a new one. So come back in a couple of days. So basically, I guess I have to wait it out for like 2 days. Tuesday I have to go into the office for the first time in 3 years.
Wow.
But Wednesday I can just go in and tell them, hey, yeah, it's not working. Can you order me one? And don't charge me the $8 because you guys fucked this up. And then on Friday, Karina's watch comes in, so we'll go get that. And I'll probably by then hopefully have my new screen protector. They can take another 30-minute attempt at trying to put this thing on.
Yeah. But no, like especially like I have an Apple Watch. I have no protection on that. But also you got to think like, did something in your childhood happen? Something broke? Because this is a fear that is like a little unwarranted. Just because it's like you're not out here banging your wrists on shit left and right.
My wrist does end up hitting stuff from time to time, but I feel like another part about it is I don't know why I'm so ridiculous about it, because I feel like a lot of companies invest money into making their screens just naturally scratch resistant and stuff. The screen protectors are probably more prone to getting scratched, and then it looks messed up, but you're just protected. I guess it's also the trade-in value part. If there's any problem with it whatsoever, the trade-in value plummets. Like if I want to trade this Samsung 21S Ultra for the 23 when it comes out through Verizon, they'll give me $800 if it's in perfect condition and $10 if it's got one minor scratch on it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just I have terrible luck with technology. I love technology. Technology does love me back. I get the newest stuff. I take pristine care of it. It dies. I got a phone one time, a month in, the screen just disconnected from the graphic card or whatever, disconnected from my processor, and it was all staticky and I couldn't use it. Like I did nothing to that phone, no problem to that phone whatsoever, and it just stopped working. That's happened to me with tons of technology. So I guess I'm just really scared that it's going to happen, but I'm so careful with everything. I never drop my phone. I've never had I had one phone where the screen actually broke, and it was the Pixel 3 like 2 years ago. After like 2 years of owning the phone, the screen finally broke. I think it was somehow related to volleyball. It like fell out of my pocket or something just while I was warming up. Not thinking like I would be doing a lot of physical activity and I could just leave it in my pocket for a minute or two before the game started. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It's if I didn't have any kind of protection on, and I had a screen protector on that, it still broke the screen. If I had no kind of protection whatsoever, I probably would never have taken that risk at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I also hate cases, but I used to, the trade-off I think used to be I would get the screen protector and not a case. Because I like my phones to be sleek. I like them to glide in and out of my pockets.
You don't want them to glide in and out of your pockets when they fall out during volleyball.
Well, I wouldn't be having it in my pocket during volleyball normally. God.
I love
just my jean pockets.
I like this clear case with just like black around it. I have a picture of me and my friends in there. But yeah, I like the case is fucked up. The back of it, I don't know if I can show it really, but so many scratches on the case, nothing on the screen. But I love cases, hate screen protectors. So I'm the exact opposite.
The exact opposite, yeah. I just like the phone to feel sleeker. The overall design of the phone is what I appreciate more than the quality of the screen, I guess.
Yeah.
And the screen protectors are so thin now. Like for the Samsung tablet, the one I got, they show you 100 different ways that the S Pen still works with it and stuff. So it's so thin. There's some that actually they use on purpose to feel like paper. So if you're using it for artistry, like drawing, you'll feel more like you're using a pencil and paper and stuff. So there's that too. I mean, that's cool. I never knew those existed.
Yeah.
But no, I have a crippling fear that I'll break it. I think it's also because technology just costs so much money now. That if I broke this phone, I wanted
insurance on it?
I get that. I did at Best Buy. I have to actually call and cancel my one. I was double dipping on this phone. I have Verizon's insurance, which is useless to me because I have Best Buy's Geek Squad protections, where even if I lose this phone or it's stolen, they'll give me the trading credit for it.
Wow.
I could just tell them it was stolen, keep the phone for myself, and then
that's crazy.
Do whatever. But yeah, no, I wanted to get your thoughts on it because I just feel like I overdo it because now I'm not using my tablet. I wanted to get it. I wanted to read.
Crazy.
I wanted to
Not
read
using it is
the
insane.
tablet. I probably would use the tablet without the screen protector if I didn't have two dogs. Zeus jumps all over us all the time. And there's a good chance where I wouldn't be paying attention if I'm reading like manga or something. And then he just jumps. He wants to jump on the bed. He jumps right over me and his claws just scrape along the
That's
screen.
true. Yeah.
So
I'll
that
give
gives
you
me a
that
little bit
one.
of extra fear.
Yeah, my dog doesn't do jack shit. She can't go up the stairs. She can't get off. She's on the couch right now downstairs. She can't get off even if she wanted to. She usually just
Yeah.
barks until.
Well, your dog is also super duper tiny. I mean, she could probably
Yeah.
walk on your iPad. It wouldn't even detect the touches.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I use her paw and I summon in Dokkan. Just for the
Oh,
extra
really?
luck, yeah.
When God speaks to you.
Yeah. And
Remember, you used to
sometimes,
tell me
yeah.
that God spoke to me. I did
And
a single summon, and
and
I got
it.
the new LR.
Exactly. It's only, and I don't do it often. It's only when God speaks to me. But yeah, so I guess now let's do the mini
I guess
convince me because it's very
right.
very short.
Just to summarize that though, I guess I just overdo it, and I don't need to be so ridiculous. The watch I could probably set up and wear into the city on Tuesday. I'm not gonna set it up till. The reason I'm waiting on that is because I'm gonna use the liquid glass anyway, and I want to use it on Karina's. So her watch comes in on Friday. I might as well wait, and I'm not gonna open it up and use it for a day, and then, I mean, I might as well just wait the week without it.
Yeah.
So I guess I just overdo it, and I really need to calm down about it. I know the first device that I get where I don't get a screen protector or something, though, I'm gonna break it within a week.
And then it's gonna just reinforce your psychopathic ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on. Minnie convinced me. Let's hear this. I have no idea what this is.
So I have been reading. So I took a break. I was reading Tokyo Ghoul, and then I took a break, and then because the fucking manga app has been pissing me the fuck off. I haven't read any manga because it's been pissing me off. I have it vertical, and then I have it horizontal, and it messes up because it like there's a 2-page spread. So I move it horizontal, and it like messes up the entire app. I don't even know how to describe it, but basically I like turn it sideways, and instead of giving me 2 pages across the whole horizontal tablet, it'll give me like 3/4 of 2 pages, but then not the whole like up and down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I was planning on reading all the new stuff that I was going to read sideways or
no,
horizontal because I assumed it was 2 pages.
If you are there, it works. Like I have to basically close and reopen the chapter every time it messes up, and if you start sideways, it's working, and if you start vertical, it works. But if you flip mid-read, it just fucks everything up. So I haven't read manga in like 3 weeks because it's been pissing me off so much.
Okay.
So I've been reading.
What a great way to convince me. Here we go. He's convinced me to stop using the app.
So I've been reading Tokyo Ghoul, and I was taking a break from it because of that, and then I got to this part in the manga today, and I've been reading it all day. So basically, like the main character is just a human, very timid, very bitch-like behavior, doesn't do much.
We're talking about basically the first issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has a date with this girl, baddie, absolute baddie, way out of his league. Like there is no way he would ever get her ever. Goes on a date. She walks him home, or he's walking her home because she's like, "You walk me to the station. I'm scared." Boom, she's a ghoul. And she tries to eat him. Randomly, this is also
ghouls always eat humans.
Yeah,
they can only eat humans or something.
Humans, and normal
so they're like
food
vampires.
Tastes bad to them.
Only drink blood and they throw up normal food. Okay.
Yeah. And it will kill them if they continue to eat normal food. I think they can take down coffee though. Coffee is the one exception that still tastes normal to them.
So the mangaka really likes coffee.
Yeah.
Got it.
So and then all of a sudden, I'm still learning the mystery of why these steel beams fall from the sky, kill her. And they also because she was killing him.
So I'm probably will end up reading it, but well, I mean, whenever you recommend something, you don't even really need to convince me too much. So just so I'm following this, date with a very like a crazy hot ghoul. They walk home. She tries to attack him, and then all of a sudden, God intervenes.
Well,
before he's attacked,
there have been hints that in the story that it wasn't random. Someone caused it. I just don't know what caused it yet.
Okay, all right, but it's before he was attacked. Before he was eaten, or he was partially eaten.
He was like stabbed or something. Like I think he was wounded against a wall.
Stabbed with her tooth or something?
No, they have like these things that come out of their mid back, and there's like different forms. So like some are like tentacle-ish, some are like shield, some are wings, like all cool.
Kind of like Parasite?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she dies, he's wounded. They inject her organs into him. So now he's half ghoul, half human. I don't think
Who's they?
just like doctors.
Okay.
So the doctor probably knew, and I think it's hinted also that he knew that she was a ghoul, made him half ghoul, half human. Ghouls have one, or their whites of their eyes are red when they use their ghoul powers. So for him, one eye turns like that. One eye stays
Oh,
normal.
I've seen this. Ken
Yeah.
Kaneki, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen screenshots of him. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, whole time he's turned into a ghoul, he's like, I'm not gonna eat humans. I'm a bitch. Like I'm not gonna, like, he only drinks these, like, he drinks the coffee with these little cubes, that because he works at a cafe, all the cafe workers are ghouls, and the cafe owner gives him these
He
sugar
gets this
cubes.
job after he becomes a ghoul, or he
Yeah.
already was working there and
No,
he
no,
just
no.
never knew they were ghouls. Okay.
No, yeah, he gets it afterwards. And they give him like these sugar cubes that are like we don't even know what they are. I don't think that he just says like, it's better off if you don't know, because he doesn't want to eat humans. So he gives them like these sugar cubes that are probably human blood or
Human.
something.
Yeah, so they're probably humans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, TLDR, he's a bitch the whole time. He tries to use his powers, he's getting better. He gets kidnapped and he gets tortured for 10 days. Ghouls regenerate, so like for 10 days straight, he's getting his toes cut off, regenerate. Toes cut off.
How'd the first girl die?
Because the steel beams crushed her instantly. Like there's a point where you can't regenerate anymore.
Oh, okay, right. It's like being beheaded.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine could get beheaded and die versus Deadpool, who can't because he's more, I don't know, he's a super mutant.
So he gets tortured for 10 days, regenerated, tortured, psychologically tortured. He sees people that he cares about killed in front of him just for 10 days straight. That's why in all the pictures, sometimes he has black hair, sometimes he has white, because after the torture, he gets white hair.
Oh, I thought it was like a ghoul aspect, or like, well, now that you said ghouls and stuff, I thought it was an aspect of his supernatural abilities in general.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's because he gets tortured, and then he gets out of the torture. This dude's a fucking badass now. That's what I just got to today. He was talking to some dude, and he's like, I'm gonna beat you half to death. And then he's like, in his head or out loud, he's like talking about like, how am I gonna beat you half to death? We need to define what half to death means. He's like, I could crush your top half or your lower half, but then if I crush your top half, you're dead. He's like, we could do organs. I could like break half of your organs, but then if I crush your brain, you're dead. So that doesn't make sense. He's like, I'm gonna settle on bones, and he just goes one by one. He's naming them all out and breaking every single bone in this dude's body. Half of them, 103 bones. I was like, damn, this is cool.
That is pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like there's a long build up of him being a little bitch, but
it's like 70 chapters in, I want to say.
Yeah, the thing about that, you haven't seen the anime, right?
It's trash. Don't watch it.
Well, I heard the first season follows the manga, and then the season 2 doesn't at all. It actually does the opposite, basically, of whatever I haven't read the details of it. I just know it said it basically shits on the source material and does the exact opposite of the story.
Promised Neverland, basically. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was ass.
Yeah, I haven't seen Promised Neverland. Promised Neverland.
But yeah, so that's my mini.
Yeah, I'd probably read. I need to, now that I have this new tablet. One of the reasons why I didn't read too many new series is because my Fire tablet was just so slow.
Oh,
like trying to flip a page, sometimes it wouldn't go, so I would just go like that, and I would go 9 pages, because it would catch up the latency. So I'm looking forward to having the Samsung also like work seamlessly with my phone. But yeah, that sounds cool. I think I'll probably read it. I have a couple of things that I wanted to try to dip my toes in first, but
I've seen some, not like spoilers, because like I didn't get all of it, but on TikTok, they like, I'm on like anime TikTok normally on my For You page, and I saw this one post and it was like things that have happened in Black Clover since the anime ended. That needs to come back.
It looks insane.
It looks I know that was wild.
That's on my list. I saw something today about some guy making a pact with a demon and getting like a major buff.
Spoiler. You don't even need to like just mute the video for the thing for like a second, because I'm gonna say it and then we probably won't go into it because neither of us know too much about it. But so yeah, right now, spoilers. I'm pretty sure Julius is the main villain of the show. I saw some creepy picture. He had black hair and he was smiling real evilly. Like
really?
Yeah.
The time guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nova Chrono or whatever, yeah. That would be one hell of a kick in the nads, I think, based on how he's been. Not a kick in the nads, but it would be. I would never have seen it coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is actually.
But
it's a little high on my list of what I want to read. Yeah, luckily I don't care.
Yeah.
I could be pissed at you if I was a spoiler.
And then,
crazy
another one that I saw. So again, mute if you care. But what's his face? Yuno has 2 grimoires now. He can use star magic now too.
What?
Yeah.
Asta no magic at all.
Well, he has like
You
17
gets
demon
2.
forms, I think now.
Oh well, yeah, because at this point he's got to keep up. It's
Yeah.
like a Naruto and Sasuke kind of thing.
Yeah. But
Genius versus just absolute raw powerhouse of talent or whatever.
yeah. I never
Uh,
finished the anime, so I need
I
to
never
go back
finished
and
the
do
anime
that.
either. I never finished the anime either. But I'm only I think a couple months out. So at most I
I
have
was on
20-ish episodes.
I had a decent bit. I remember specifically I was on the episode called Nero the Bird Bitch
Yeah, her
Reminisces
look back,
Part 2.
the
Yeah.
recaps,
Yeah.
Yeah. I skipped. I watched those, but basically fast forwarded through them. And then it's like after that, it's basically training time, and then you see the results. I was partially into seeing the results of their training, how everyone buffed themselves up by going to the land of water, Hearts,
Yeah.
land of Hearts. They're in
Kingdom.
Spade.
Yeah.
They're in Spade, right? They went to Hearts. No, they're not in Spade. Spade is the one that's attacking everybody. They're in. Are they in Heart? Which
I
one are
think
they
they
in?
go to Spade afterward.
Well, Spade is the one that's attacking everyone. That's the
Yeah.
one they have to fight back against. I think they're in Heart, and they must have gone. So they either went to Diamond or Club.
I might
They're
just
always the
rewatch the
card
show
suits.
because listen, early Asta's annoying, but that show gets so good. Like I hated him at the beginning of the show, but it gets real good.
Yeah, he's just one of those loud characters. He just shouts
Yeah.
everything. Once they calm that down, I mean, Naruto was the same way. Believe it,
Yeah.
believe it, believe it. Oh, now I have Kurama. So I'm a
Yeah.
kick-ass
I'm
motherfucker.
calm, collected.
20 episodes in, I become badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, it's another class. It seems like an anime trope, but I don't know why they would do that. Make your
Yeah.
main characters annoying for no reason, and then 20 episodes in, be like, hell yeah, they're badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't you glad you stuck it out? Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's basically number one on my list
Yeah.
for what I want to read, and I want to start at the beginning and read it. I feel like I did at one point read some stuff about it though. I feel like I was powering through it and I stopped somewhere, and then for some reason Viz Media didn't keep my progress, and I just gave up on it.
Oh.
So I would restart that one from the beginning to read it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'll add Tokyo Ghoul. I need to make like a list or something. We should do a shared doc of the convince me's and things like that, and then we can go revisit them.
Yeah,
I know
can just
that. I
do
mean, we did revisit Kaiju number 8 at some point when I convinced you to read that one, and now the anime for that's coming out this
I've heard.
year.
I don't.
Somewhere?
Another thing on TikTok, like, it was just like anime updates and stuff, or just anime manga updates. It was saying Tokyo Ghoul's, or not Tokyo Ghoul. Kaiju number 8 is in its final arc right now, which it seems very fast. But also, like, if you wanna, if the creator wants to end it when the creator wants to end it, props to you, because shit shouldn't go on.
It really,
just to-
yeah. Based on what's happening though, it really seems like there's not gonna be much payoff for the main
Yeah.
character then,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks. Maybe it's gonna be a situation where it continues on, like kind of Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm. That's
Did,
getting
maybe?
good too. I love Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
currently
I have
happening?
I have to watch the final episode or something. Still, I think I've seen all of them except the final one. Maybe I have 2 left.
I'm on episode
I don't want
3.
to. I don't want to do too many more spoiler
Yeah.
alerts, but I'm past a major thing where I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is. I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that Chainsaw Man is also high on my list now. I
Yeah.
think it's probably going to go Black Clover, Chainsaw Man. I mean, keeping up to date with everything that I'm already up to date with.
Yeah.
Black Clover, Chainsaw Man, and then I'll throw Tokyo Ghoul next on that list. I was also thinking like Fire Force, but I don't mind just waiting and watching that one. Oh, really? Yeah, then F it. The only thing I'm reading that's not on the app is Solo Leveling, which I haven't started yet, but I bought the books from Barnes & Noble. I heard someone told me today Barnes & Noble's like going out of business. I need to go buy tons of manga. If they're having clearance sales, I'm going to go buy tons of manga.
That's funny. Yeah,
But yeah, you've convinced me.
Too. All right.
Successful convinced me.
I guess we can do Big Titty now. My big titty is that Dr. Stone 3rd season has a trailer and is announced for April, which is cool. I never saw that OVA. That is canon, so I do need to watch that.
I haven't seen the OVA yet either.
But
it's them waking up that dude. Them waking up that the guy that they need, the captain. Yeah, the ship captain. Who I guess in the real world was like in the Navy or something, probably.
Oh.
If I had to guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so I haven't seen that, but 3rd season coming out in April, which is really cool.
That is almost on my I want to read list because I think they finished it.
Yeah, it's done.
So I kind of want to read it, but
I
At
kind
the
of
same
just
time, I
like,
really like the anime
yeah,
and just being surprised by the anime.
yeah. Like I don't know spoilers for that, so
Yeah, I like the fact that I don't know spoilers now. I've kind of gone back and forth on that one in my head from time to time, thinking, do I just read it because I really love the series?
hmm
Do I just wait it out and see what happens live?
yeah.
I'm
I think
bouncing
I'm just
back and
gonna
forth
wait,
still.
but who
Yeah,
knows?
I'm leaning toward waiting, but
Yeah.
I might just break. I At any moment I could break and just watch everything or read everything. I mean, but I'm also excited for that. Super excited. Doctor Stone. I think I like Doctor Stone more than I like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer and all of them.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
so awesome. I don't
yeah.
know. I like science a lot, so it gets me. I also really like the core concept of it. It's just like Horizon's world, like world catastrophe. People are now rebuilding. They're what like and beforehand, humanity was at a pinnacle of some kind or
Yeah.
really advanced, and now we've gone all the way back. So we have to start over basically.
Yeah.
So I really like those stories. So it really gets me. It ticks it or it checks every single. I don't want to say tick ever again. It checks off every box that I could possibly want in an anime. So that could easily be my big T of the week, but I do have others for myself. I have one. I have two. I followed Vinny's example of his 7 from the last episode. I have two this week. One is I don't think it's an official. It's actually official. I might just read it. Might be a rumor at this point, but normally these things kind of have some kind of factual basis. There's talks that Henry Cavill is getting a contract with Amazon that's a first look contract, which if people aren't really familiar with that, basically what it means is Henry Cavill, anything that is within the scope of the contract. So in this scenario, it's gaming. So anything from the gaming world, like video games, I think even tabletop games, where Amazon wants to adapt something, they would go to Henry Cavill to give him the offer of being a executive producer or being involved in the show somehow and having input. I think that for most first look contracts, it's kind of the reverse, where if Cavill had an idea for adapting something from the gaming realm, he would have to go to Amazon first to give them the first chance at producing it. That's how I've normally heard of them. That's how the Impractical Jokers work with Warner Brothers
Mhm.
Discovery. Uh, so I'm not 100% sure on the details. Like I said, this is like a rumor mill kind of thing. But from what I read was Amazon would approach Cavill with these offers
Dang.
because he's so established in the world and he loves all this stuff. He dedicates so much time to it. I could see how this would be a viable contract where Amazon would actually want him involved. And if he
hmm
says no, he doesn't want to be involved, they can go find someone else, or they might just be like, wow, this might not be worth it.
yeah.
Um, so that's my first big titty because that would be awesome for all gaming adaptation stuff. It
Yeah.
really would be. You have someone who truly loves the source material. That was always a game changer. One of his problems with Witcher is that they're butchering the source material.
Yeah.
A lot of the problems that people have with Game of Thrones is that they started to go off the rails from the source material. That was, a slow descent into disgustingness. But if he, even if it's a game series he's not familiar with, which I seriously doubt would be the case, that he's not familiar with a game series that is popular enough to be adapted for series or movies,
hmm
um, he would still learn about it. Like
Yeah.
he had only played Witcher 3, I think just Witcher 3. When he got the role, he read all the books, played all the games again
Yeah.
to get familiar with the character. He dives into it. So if they said, here's this game, if he knew nothing about it, he'd probably research it a little bit first. And if he liked it, he'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm on. I read all the source material stuff.
They're like, we want you to be Jack and Jack and Daxter.
I mean, he has the build for it. Uh, he could probably do the voice too,
yeah.
because he can do anything. Uh, so I just think it's really the reason it's like big titty worthy for me is because I think it's a huge leap. I think every streaming platform or just production company should have something like this, or they should at least have this as a step where they approach people who love the source material
Yeah.
and have them involved in the process. There's nothing that's worse. It happens with books all the time still. There's nothing worse than people loving the source material, it being adapted for Hollywood, and the producers knowing nothing of the source material and wanting all of these like Hollywood, like hot stuff for the like current Hollywood magic stuff thrown in, and it ruins it.
That's what kind of annoys me about the Last of Us adaptation that's coming out is I was reading something with the I forget the actress's name, but the girl who's playing the main girl. They like told her purposely don't play the games or like don't see the cutscene. They said something like that. I don't remember what exactly, but it's like why
So that
not?
she'd be surprised by the story. I don't. You're not
But they
surprised
read
when you
it.
read it in
Yeah,
advance. It's
yeah,
not like they're giving her lines on set and they only do one take.
yeah. And they also like changed. I know like spores aren't the cause of the spread of the infection now. In that, even though they were in the game, they said like we ditched spores and we went to tendrils, which I don't really know what that means because that makes me think like tentacles. So I don't know how
Makes you think
tendrils.
tentacles. Yeah, it makes it sound like there's like just things in the earth that are spewing out the
Yeah.
change bacterium in a radius kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So I don't know. I love Pedro Pascal. I think he's a great actor. I'm excited for Mando season 3, but I'm
Oh
a little
yeah,
nervous for
he's like on Cavill's level. That's the biggest
yeah.
compliment I can give somebody.
Yeah.
No, he really dives into a role. Also, he's played a variety of things. He was in Game of Thrones as a great character. He is Mandalorian. I loved him in Golden Circle, the Kingsman second
I haven't
movie.
seen that. I didn't know he was in that. I
Yeah, he's
loved
in it.
Kingsman 1.
He's in it as part of the Statesman, the American
Oh,
counterpart. Yeah,
frick. I gotta watch
I
that.
won't tell you much about his character. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's a series that's worth watching. I never saw their. Oh no, I did see their like
They did like
historical one where they
yeah.
went back to the origin.
Hmm.
But I think they're also making a third one now with Eggsy,
I hope
so I'm
so.
super excited.
I loved the first one.
Uh, yeah, the first one I owned it on Blu-ray. It's one of the
Same.
few Blu-rays I own. When I buy something on Blu-ray, it means a lot. He buys Blu-rays left and right. When I buy something on Blu-ray, it means that is fucking amazing for me. Like it's high, top tier something that I want to rewatch at a moment's notice without having to find it on a streaming network.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. So all good news there. And then so the Cavill thing. I know you're talking about the Last of Us adaptation not being great, but hopefully since Amazon has the rights to God of War, it gives me a lot more hope that Cavill will be involved. He must know the game. He must know God of War. So it gives me a lot. I wasn't exactly pessimistic about that series, but I am very optimistic about the series if they say, yeah, Cavill is going to be part of the production
Yeah.
in any way. I won't be surprised if they try and make him Kratos.
But
I mean,
also
he has the build for it.
I wonder if like because it was in production before, if it'll be like grandfathered in without him. Would be my only fear.
It's possible for sure. Like first look means that it's something that they're in the conceptual phase.
Yeah.
And God of War is something that's green lit already, but they're still in the very, very early
Yeah, like, I
phases.
don't
So
think
he
they've
could
casted
just
anyone.
say, like, he could say as part of this contract, I also want to take a look at the existing ones and offer my services to them.
Yeah.
Negotiate. Maybe he has some sort of monetary gain from his services in some
Mhm.
way. But I would love if he just had like some sort of final say on scripts.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily scripts, but changes they want to do from the source material. He can either say yes or no. That would
Yeah.
be perfect for me because he'd probably just say no. Fuck you guys, make it like the original content.
That's what I'm saying with because just a semi mini tangent. But with Trigun, we both don't know much about it, the new one. But if it's not an adaptation of the manga, I don't care. I don't like. There is a reason that these people writing the shows weren't manga authors. It's because you couldn't make it
Yeah.
writing a story.
Yeah, I've heard you say that on your stream. I
Yeah.
think I jumped in one time and heard you ranting about that.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole breakdown of if you become a mangaka versus if you're like you work in a manga studio versus an anime
I
studio.
don't know. That's just my
As far as a story writer goes. But I could see it. I could see how they don't think that what they would write would be worthy of or would sell manga very well. And they go work in an anime studio where
But
they
so
basically adapt, and then when they get the chance to write their own stuff, it
yeah.
usually sucks.
Yeah. But so that's what I've heard, like that Trigun is now adapting the manga, which if it is, I'll watch it because it's always intrigued me. I've just never seen it.
The end of the manga, I read the differences. The end of the manga does kind of go off the rails a little bit, but I think if they build it up and they sprinkle in just some additional factoids
Yeah, 'cause they
throughout
were
the story
changing
that's
it for a
just
little
extra.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as whatever they do is extra and not changing
Yeah.
source. If they just add to it, and it still makes sense in some way. It doesn't totally go against something already established or that's going to be established later in the story.
Yeah, I agree.
Then it works.
Because that's the other
Then
thing
it could
is
be fine.
when the first anime came out, the manga wasn't done. So it's like, yeah, I guess it's excusable.
I hate that they used to do that in the 90s. Why? What was it about the 90s? They were like, "Oh, this is going to be a 26 issue run. We can't wait. We
Yeah.
we got to start the anime adaptation to go along with the manga, and of course we're gonna get ahead of the manga.
Yeah.
Why?
Makes sense.
Oh my god! But yeah, all right. Pivot back. So my second big titty. This one will just be quick. Slime. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Getting its movie. Obviously, movies are all like, except for Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, which are now setting like a new norm, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
of being canon. Slime movie is its own original story. It's not anywhere in the source material, which I think is manga and not light novels. I'm not 100% sure
it's a
though.
light
They
novel.
are light novels.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a new story that's not part of light novels, but movies always get that better, like from better people, I guess.
Yeah.
So even though it's not from the source material, normally the story does make sense. It gets movie quality funding, animation, and all that
And
stuff.
even if it's not canon, normally like the author will work on the movie.
Yeah, because I mean it's a huge impact globally. Just having a filler arc of 5 episodes doesn't necessarily need author involvement if they're busy with other stuff, but movies normally do get it. I mean, we also are kind of basing that off of One Piece and Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball is a really wild story where he considers both the anime and the manga, which are different, both canon from the same universe.
Crazy.
So that was a little wild. Oda is just a crazy workaholic mofo who probably involves himself also with the filler, but that's why they don't have any filler, because he's like, I don't have time for filler, but you can't do any without me. So yeah, your only filler can be recaps. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the movie. I really like that series. I think it's an awesome series. I don't know if I would rate it the same way I rate Dr. Stone, like above Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen and these other really, really intense, either dark or just fantasy manga and series. But it would be close up there for me.
Yeah.
At least of currently coming out anime and manga.
Also, did you say it's coming out in March? Because I'm on Google right now and it's coming out in like 2 weeks.
In like 2 weeks? Oh. Yeah. Then I gotta go see it.
January 19th.
No, I thought it was February or March. I thought I saw it in a movie theater. I saw a poster for it. I thought it said that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, January 19th.
I mean, I must be wrong. Google. I would trust Google. I would trust Google. If it's January 19th, then yeah, I gotta buy tickets for that.
Yeah.
At my local theater, because I definitely want to see that one in theaters.
Same. I'll probably go alone, just like I did for One Piece Red.
So yeah, there you go. Big titty. Well, the big titty is that I'm going to be seeing this movie in 2 weeks, and we're going to be reviewing it. Well, if as long as you go see it, we'll be reviewing it.
Yeah.
To some extent, or discussing it. We don't really review stuff until the very end of this episode when we get into a little bit of rewatch and review.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's my second big titty. I just really like the series, and I also think big titty on a more grand scale. Just more and more series now, even if they're not quite as mainstream, are getting America theatrical releases.
Yeah, and that's always positive.
Even if you don't know Slime, if you're a little kid that just sees that and goes, "Mom, I want to go see that movie," it's like that's great.
And then they're just
as long as you're old enough to read. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we're becoming more mature at a younger age now, so they're probably looking at that and going, "Yay!"
Yeah, booba.
Yeah. Eyes popping out of the head. Yeah.
Let's do New Year's resolutions now. So I have 5.
Personal or podcast?
Both. Everything.
Both. Okay. I have like 13 or 14 personal ones.
Oh, okay. Well, I have there's only one like personal one. Other ones are like streaming or pod.
Okay. Well, so my number one. So I'll kick it off and say my number one resolution is dedicate and take more seriously stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that encompasses doing more content creation, getting active on social media. Like it encompasses a lot of different things. So if I had sub points, it would be a lot all rolled into one.
Gotcha.
Making sure I don't fall behind on YouTube uploads, and maybe making a VODs channel and a content, like a edited content channel, like pivoting my presence and just dedicating a lot more time and taking it more seriously, sticking to my schedule, things like that. That's all encompassed in my number one resolution.
Yeah, so that one of mine is, or 2 of mine are edited YouTube content, which I've already been working on. And then my second one is just continue streaming, because some days I turn on stream and I get real demotivated. So just if I
Elden Ring.
Yeah. That one. But also it's not like I mean, we've talked about this. And I've talked about this on stream too. It's less the game and more like if I'm seeing one viewer for 4 hours, that's real demotivating for me. Um, and
Yeah,
so
I get it.
just if I don't quit this year, which I don't plan to, but as long as if I keep streaming, the goal is considered that it was met.
Yeah, and just to be clear, if he does quit streaming, he's still doing this fucking podcast with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I will force him to because I love doing this podcast. I think this is awesome. We talk about this stuff anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I won't. That is one of my other goals is just keep up with the pod. I think we ended 2022 off right with I think it was like 4 or 5 episodes in a row weekly.
Yeah, I
Um,
also want to. I mean, part of the content creation streaming stuff, I want to become more involved with. I mean, the way we split work is basically to our strengths right now, but I would still like to learn and expand on.
I mean, yeah, you could make TikToks if you want for the pod.
Yeah. I was actually thinking more like I just help you with thumbnails and stuff and like
That's
learn
true.
how to do them.
Yeah.
but yeah, like I could start with that and then I could go on to like let's make edited content together. We can share all that stuff. But I think part of taking streaming more seriously is like admitting to yourself, or at least to me, like yeah, I mean I've always known I want to do it full time. That's the only job I think I would ever enjoy in my life is doing streaming stuff full time. And one of the best ways to do it is exposure. You don't want to throw everything at the wall and make it stick, but I think doing this podcast definitely would help us. If this because if the stream takes off, the podcast isn't gets more viewership, and if the podcast somehow takes off or gets more viewership in general and reaches a wider audience somehow through people sharing it amongst their friends, then it would help both
Listen,
of our channels.
we've
So
always said all it takes is for one of us to pop off, and the other will pop off with them.
yeah, we'll drag you
Yeah.
right up to Mount Olympus. The other, we'll like one of us, we dragging the other one straight up into glory.
Oh, that's another like part of continue streaming for me is potentially like I don't want to consider this like an actual goal just in case we revisit this beginning of 2024 and I consider this like failed or met, but I've been thinking about maybe streaming less because right now I think another reason that some nights I'm a one viewer Andy is because I stream every day. So it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't go to the stream today. Well, it doesn't matter. He'll be live tomorrow.
yeah.
But if I
I mean, your schedule right now. A good thing is consistency, but your schedule right now is seven days a week.
yeah. Like
So
but that's the other thing is I
it is a
only play
lot.
games when I stream, and it's like if I'm not streaming, I'll be wanting to play something, but I can't because I don't want to play a new game off stream because then it's like I'm spoiling it for myself when some reactions could be
Well,
fun on stream.
you've admitted to me you play Steam Deck stuff, replay old games in bed. You
Yeah,
could just do that.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if you want to play a new game, then you'd want to stream that day. But the way I would probably set it up if I were you, and I know we're not in like a phase where we give each other advice on the stuff we're just supposed to be talking about resolutions, but because I really don't want you to burn out and stop streaming because I
Yeah,
like watching you stream, I think yeah, you definitely overdo it
yeah,
a little bit. You keep it varied by doing different games, but sometimes you might reach into doing too many at once, like 3 or 4, and then you got to tone it back down.
yeah,
So you really just have to settle. And I
yeah,
think you could probably tone it back to 5 days, maybe one weekend day, leave yourself freedom the other weekend day, and then 4 of the 5 regular days, whatever your schedule works out to be.
mm-hmm.
And it would probably be a little bit more, it'd probably be a little bit better for you. And then you can take that one day and just kind of like,
And I can edit shit or like think of
and
editing
it gives you time
content.
to do
Yeah,
that stuff. Yeah.
so yeah, I
One
might
of the
do that.
things that the last little thing I'll tell you for the one viewer thing. See, it doesn't get to me. Once I have viewers where I'm not getting anyone in chat or I know everyone that's in there is just lurking, no matter what the number is. I sort of treat it like a let's play,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I start just talking about the game instead of trying to interact with people and trying to like get people talking in chat. And I'm fine with that. But everyone is unique in
Yeah,
that regard. Fisher, my friend Fisher, he used to be real hung up on the number, really hung up on it. So he just turned it off.
yeah. You
So in
can.
Stream Manager,
Yeah,
he just sees a dash there. He does not know who's in chat. He never knows if someone's joining or leaving. And for him, it gives him a lot more peace of mind. So you could do that on days. If you notice in the first hour you don't have a lot of viewers, you could just hit that,
yeah,
turn it off, and then it gets to you less because 3 hours in, you might still have one viewer, but you don't know. Maybe you have 5 and they're all just lurking or something like that.
yeah. And
So
that's the
you can
weird
test it
thing in
out.
my mind. If I see the number is 5, I don't care if no one's chatting. I don't know why. Like,
I mean, I get it. Because you consistently have that many people.
yeah,
So when you see it's a day where no one's watching, you're thinking to yourself, where the hell are all my fucking regulars?
yeah. And it's also like, I think part of it is because I've been doing this for like 3 years now, 2 years now, something like that. It's like my average has not gone up. So I think at an average scale, it's also a little discouraging. Not even like, because some days I'm one viewer Andy and like probably a decent, not even a decent amount, like a little above average amount. I'm like a 10 viewer Andy. So
Yeah.
it's like the average still being like a 3 to 5 for the month is also a little discouraging.
Yeah. We're just in that. Yeah, I think we're in that. You're
Oh
in
wait, hang
that.
on,
We're in
I'm
that
getting a
realm.
call. I'm getting a call from
All
my
right.
mom. And it's
I
resumed.
know. You know how shiny my face is. Oh, it's
Wow.
resumed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You can leave that in. That's fine. Um, holy shit! I clicked off of the thing. What were we talking about? New Year's resolutions.
We're talking
So
specifically about streaming.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think you basically finished the thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's discouraging to see it. You've sort of stagnated when it comes to average viewership. I think we're just in that kind of realm of you're not big enough to get on that page on Twitch where it says small communities you might like, but
Mhm.
you're not so small that you're not an affiliate. So you can post on Reddits where it's like, hey, I'm streaming tonight. I usually stream to 0 people,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Um, but there are certain things that we can do. I think we've talked about just dedicating more time to it. More edited content is definitely a big key.
Yeah, you can't grow on Twitch is the thing. Like I'm
Yeah,
convinced it's impossible.
I think it's possible just through the
The raids.
creating your own community by rating people over and over and over again of different people and just kind of growing your community that way and eventually getting people to reciprocate and
Yeah.
things like that. I think because like Dave is the good example that I use. When he first raided me, I was his first raid because of my mustache, and he had 2 people. I think it was
Mhm.
him and it's just his one friend from Soul Calibur, and he had I want to say less than 50. I don't think he was even an affiliate yet. I think he had less than 50 followers, and I checked like 2 months later after he was doing that basically every single time that he streamed, and he has like 400 something followers.
Yeah.
And he regularly gets 16 viewers. People are talking in chat to him all the time. And for him, he streams directly from his console. He doesn't have a face cam. He doesn't have any scenes. It's just the game all the time, just his console.
Yeah.
I think if he switches the game, it turns the stream off. Like it's not the ideal way to stream,
Mhm.
but people don't care. And
Yeah.
he plays. I mean, another benefit is he plays a lot of the Dark Souls games, so he has a community of Souls like people.
Oh, okay.
So it helps that he played Elden Ring 3 times and beat it. He played for the first time Bloodborne on stream. He played for the first time Sekiro recently. Now
Mhm.
he's on Ghost of Tsushima. He's playing like all these high profile games one
Yeah.
after the other. So that helps. Um, Meanwhile, me and you are going to be playing day one probably a One Piece Odyssey next Friday.
That's the other thing is
Next Friday.
people don't like to come to day one streams
Yeah.
because they want to play the game themselves.
And they don't want spoilers. That was actually some of Dave's smallest streams of Ragnarok because people would jump in and say, "Hey, I don't want any spoilers. Just want to say hi," and then leave.
Yeah.
And so, because it's a new game,
Because yeah, someone was there during Star Wars yesterday, and we were watching the trailers to end off the stream for the sequel, and they were like, "Sad I can't be here because today was fun." And I was like, "Yeah, that sucks."
because they can't be there when you play two,
Yeah.
or for the trailers. They don't even watch the trailers.
No, because they couldn't like for when 2 comes out.
Ah, yeah, because not everyone can afford to get it early. Like we don't really usually think about it, but sometimes our viewers are going to be in high school, not buying
Yeah.
their own video games yet, not having a job and things like that.
Yeah.
So not exactly my target audience, but I don't care who. I don't have a target audience. My audience is if you want to come talk to me about anything, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to curse, go ahead. I hate when streamers have those rules, like don't curse at all. I
Yeah.
even see some of those streamers, and then on TikTok they're cursing people out, and it's like, are you gonna? It's just a Twitch rule. Why?
Well, I think
Because don't they
like
also follow you on TikTok?
I've seen the biggest example that I've seen is like Mr. Beast does that, but it's like specifically like YouTube. He doesn't like they're very family friendly, and then like I see him go on a podcast. He's like, "Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this." I think that's more so because well, one like his target audience is definitely younger, and he gets
Well,
sponsors from like
advertiser friendly.
yeah, and he gets
Advertiser
sponsors from like
friendly
Nerf.
tag can be a game changer only once you're at a certain size. I mean,
Yeah.
you can pivot to be family friendly if you want after a certain thing and delete all your old videos with cursing if you really want.
It's
It's
crazy
not the
that there's like
style
a
I
new
would go.
YouTube. There's a new YouTube rule where like you cannot get monetized if you're not censoring. I'm pretty sure. Like I've even seen I like Ludwig on his streams doesn't censor himself, but then like in the edited content I've noticed. I think some of it also might be like the first couple minutes you can't, so I'll like notice it that they're censoring the first couple minutes and then afterwards they won't. But now I
Mm.
think it's starting to be more so like the bot is checking the whole video,
Well, yeah, and
which is hurting
because
a lot of creators.
YouTube revenue is ad revenue, and advertisers don't want to be. Most advertisers don't want to be on a video where people are cursing or talking about sex and titties and
Yeah.
stuff. I guess. I really can't imagine myself censoring myself for that reason.
I mean, if you want to do it
If I
full
got to
time,
the,
you almost have to.
well, if I got to the size where I had an actual editor and I said, "Hey, edit out all the swears and just bleep it," because you can bleep stuff on TV and it
Yeah.
still be advertiser friendly, then I
Yeah.
can be myself on stream and I have an editor who goes through and scrubs it for all the naughtiness.
Yeah.
You know, uh, so I could see myself doing that. I can't. I don't like that concept, and I do think that over time it will bounce back because I mean, look at us in Europe. They have like nudity in commercials and stuff. I think that's just a meme, but it's a meme. It's a rumor it has some basis in truth.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went to London, just on basic cable, you could get to a channel where it was basically cam girls,
Wow.
just naked, masturbating or something. I don't even know what they were doing. It was just I was a rented apartment. I just
That's
scrolled
funny.
through. I was just flipping through channels. There it was. They're way more open about it
Yeah.
overseas compared to America. So I think that eventually it will bounce back
Mhm.
and it won't be quite as strict, especially amongst advertisers. But you never know.
What are some of your other resolutions?
Yeah, I was about to say we got to move on. I guess. Let's see. I'll go some of my smaller ones. Right. I want to learn Spanish.
Mhm.
Girlfriend is Mexican, and we go to Mexico a lot. I want to learn Spanish. I want to have more follow through, and this kind of relates to the stream thing. I want to when I say I'm going to do something on stream, I want to follow through on it. But
Yeah, where's
also
Apple Podcasts?
when I say yeah, one of the podcasts says I think we should do podcast resolutions also, which we
Mhm.
kind of did.
Yeah.
Are taking it more seriously as one, but I said in a video a while ago, I can't make it my New Year's resolution. Well, tough, I just did. My New Year's resolution is get all this stuff sorted out. Apple Podcasts, all the other platforms that we're not currently going to through Anchor, figuring it out, maybe going on with Anchor support or whatever, just dedicating some time to that. I want to train Zeus so that people can walk him who aren't me, because right now he would literally pull, if someone didn't have an extra 100 pounds like me over on top, like, well, I have more than 100 pounds on him. I have like 160 pounds on him. If I didn't have that 160 pounds to lean back, he would be pulling me across this complex.
Dang.
So training him mostly he takes the training commands inside easy, even outside, sit down, whatever you want him to do. When he sees another dog, when he's just trying to walk and follow scents, he just is his own animal. He doesn't want to just follow you.
Mm-hmm.
So doing that. Saying like a lot less. I put it in one of the descriptions a while ago, but I noticed even in the last podcast, I said like every 3 words or so. I've been working on it this today.
Mm-hmm.
During this recording session, I've been saying it way, way less. I've noticed. I've been very, very conscious of it. I wrote all these down. I have like 12, but you go while I think of a couple more.
One of mine is 100% move out. I want by New Year's to
Holy shit, I can visit and spend the night.
be out of here. That is true. Which I have my actual goal is my birthday this year, so August 11th, 2023 is my like definitive goal for moving out. But if it happens after that, just before the end of the year is my real goal. And but yeah, I have a plan to move out with a friend from college who I roomed with twice. My first apartment was with him, and then my last year in the dorms was with him. Um, and he also wants to move out, so that's our plan. Um, which would be fun, especially for stream, just because like I don't have to be quieter. I don't have to keep my door. My mom's on vacation right now, which is why my door's open, but I don't have to keep my door closed all the time.
He
He
could
can
stream
come.
naked.
I could stream naked if I wanted to. I could do a cooking stream, which would be funny. because HelloFresh is not a sponsor. They could be if they wanted to. Not a sponsor. I
Just
just
saying.
I just made some food for that for the first time. I've never cooked before in my life. I've never peeled a carrot. I peeled a carrot yesterday. I cut a carrot. It was crazy. I felt
Nice.
invigorated.
Nice. I haven't
That's
cooked much. It's also kind of on my list, like to cook more. Really, it's mostly ordering out less, which the counter to that is you have to cook more.
Yeah. I will say, at least for a first time doing HelloFresh, it was very good.
Yeah.
Because then you just keep the how to cook cards, and then you just go out to the grocery store by yourself. It's not like the cards are locked behind their system, and once you make it, you can't keep it or something. They give you
Yeah.
the cards too, so and they give you
I
the
mean, you could
ingredients.
also just look up recipes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's
But
different.
this forces you to cook other stuff. If you like it, you can be here's the cards I like. Here's the ones tear these up. I don't like these.
Yeah.
And then you can just go out and buy the ingredients. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I made a bulgogi pork tenderloin with a lemony rice and
Mm.
seasoned carrots. It was pretty good. And today I'm making some Szechuan beef noodles, I think,
Oh, there you
which I'm
go.
excited
That
for.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I like noodles. I wish
I
I could
don't
learn how to do hibachi, but also not have to cook it myself because I really just like eating hibachi. That's not what I would want to learn. Having that grill would be awesome. If
Yeah.
you cook anything at scale, having a grill like that would be awesome.
Um
Uh,
and then
yeah, if you have more.
my final goal is more not like a meme, but like if it doesn't happen, I don't really care. I have been seeing so many streamers that I enjoy, not even like new streamers that are popular or like that are popping off recently, but streamers that I enjoy. I've been seeing so many play Valorant and it looks fun and I want to give it a good try. Like I don't want to just try it and quit it after a game like we did when it first came out. I think I played literally one game and I never turned the game back on again. I
I
want to
played
give it
more,
I want to give it
not
a
for me.
one try or a real try. And I've done a little bit this time or like recently cuz they have like a deathmatch mode like it's just TDM, and I've tried it a little bit. I don't think I'm ready to go into an actual game, but
Hmm.
I want to give it a good
It's a
try.
totally different style from any other first person. Well, not any other.
No, I know.
It's based
I
off
know.
of
It's like
Counter Strike.
you have to like
So
the only strat is aim for the head, whereas other like um FPSs you can get away with not. But like if you turn a corner and don't look beforehand, you just get headshotted because everyone knows how to fucking aim in this game.
it's play more defensively or at least be way more careful. Aim for the head. Also, can't just spray and pray because
Yeah,
the bloom is impossible to
yeah,
like. You'd have to get so lucky. Like, and this is coming from me not really enjoying the game, not being good at it. I know what I would need to do to get better. I think it would just take so much time, and I'd rather just go through a backlog of games,
yeah,
single player games, than I would spending at like weeks, hours getting better at it. If I was gonna spend it, I would want to start it in a game where I was already decent. So maybe like Apex, Call of Duty, I could get back to my god status. I mean, in Black Ops 3, I had Dark Matter camo, all right? That's right. You can all bow down right now and worship me. I had Dark Matter camo. I was I was the guy in the lobby where when I played a couple 2 rounds or so, everyone knew my KD, and when they redid the matchmaking, if I was on the opposite team, that everyone on the other team left.
that's crazy.
Like that was the level I was at in Call of Duty, and I've lost it all. But I could get that back. I don't think I could ever be. I cannot compete with 20 years of Counter Strike experience that these people have playing Valorant.
Yeah. That's another thing. Very quick tangent on Overwatch. This event sucks. Battle of the
I haven't
Gods
even played the
sucks.
event. I haven't played
Um,
much of season 2. I don't know if I'm gonna get even the Zeus skin.
I think I will because I've been playing like normal mode, but like the actual event where it's like it's free for all, but everyone has like god abilities. Like they change the ults so you get like more boost than normal, but it just sucks because there's a reason that free for all is not a popular mode in Overwatch, and it's because people are unbalanced. So it's like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? I hate it. I hate it so much. And there is a
If you're not a tank, you're not winning.
there
Or
is
if you're
a
not a tank and you're
trophy.
not a professional Overwatch player, you're not
Yeah,
winning in a
it's
free
an
for all.
it's an achievement to get 300 kills with each hero in the game mode for titles.
For
Like there,
titles, yeah.
there's two achievements per
You,
character. One is get 25 kills during their ult with each character, which is doable. And then that just gives you, I think, like I know for sure
voice
gives you
line.
battle pass experience. Yeah, voice line and battle pass experience. And then the other one is 300 kills with each hero for
Hmm.
titles, which is insane.
You know what's funny too? The getting the meta achievement for it of the skin you get is one I already have.
Which one?
Winged
Mercy.
Glory or something for Mercy.
Yeah.
I looked, I already had it. I think it's like an
Oh,
old
I
skin. They're
didn't
just
know it
trying
was
to
out
give people.
already. I might
So I
see
guess
if I
they're
have it.
trying.
Yeah.
It's probably from Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to give people catch up mechanics to get the old skins without having to spend tons and tons of money. So it demotivates me from playing these
Also, that's the other
these
thing
modes.
is all of these skins in the shop should have been in the battle pass. Fuck botanist Anna. Fuck that Echo skin. Like it's cool, I guess, but the Echo one's ass.
Yeah.
Like these freaking god skins are so cool, and they should have been in the battle pass.
Yeah, they 100% should be. The battle pass needs to improve up their reward system to keep people motivated, but for even long enough to get to the PvE
Yeah.
content, I think. I mean, it's so not demoralizing, but like disheartening to know that you have to spend tons of money to have any of the cool skins they're coming up with, except for the final skin of a battle
because
pass.
like even no, but I'd even argue that the Greek skins that are in the battle pass are cool. Like Ramatra or whatever, Poseidon is
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Poseidon and Hades. The
Yeah.
Hades Farah.
So
Yeah,
it
they're
should just
cool.
be a theme of each like season that okay,
Yeah.
we're in Greek theme, all the Greek skins are in the battle pass, and
The
none of them are in the
shop
shop.
the shop should have recolors of those cool skins from the battle pass for anyone who doesn't buy the battle pass and wants to spend
Yeah.
their money on specific skins instead. If you don't want to spend, the whole 8 or 10 weeks or whatever grinding the battle pass and you still want cool skins, you should get recolors that are shop versions, and then in the battle pass if you spent the time to grind it, you should get these versions or whatever, the
That's a
main
great idea.
main
I think the only one that
versions.
I would say should not be in the shop is the Mythic because the Mythic has recolors built into it. But besides
Yeah, the
that,
mythic should be battle pass grind only. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree about that for sure. Maybe you release like a unique mythic in the shop that ties in with an event like a couple of times a year, maybe even just once a year. Maybe it's a end of year celebration where you get a mythic skin that is pay only,
yeah,
but you don't have to buy it and you can still have a mythic skin for the same character, but it should be a character that already had a mythic skin from a battle pass.
Yeah.
So in a couple of months they could come out with a Genji, a different version of a Genji mythic.
yeah, I'd be down with that. But right now, Overwatch 2 needs to change their shit.
Yeah. Back to New Year's resolutions. I thought of a couple more of mine. Get back into the gym, just to be healthier in general. I have terrible posture, and I know it's because I have weak back muscles. I have terrible knees because of genetics I need to overcome. And I'll get back into playing volleyball as a result. Also, get out of debt is one of them. I haven't really been working too much toward it. I mean, I bought myself a new tablet. It was on discount. I'm shopping. I'm shopping smart, but I'm still shopping. And then trying to think if there were any other like major ones. I mean, for podcast, I would want a resolution to be consistency, like we have been doing. So we already started achieving it.
Yeah.
But keeping it consistent, if we know there's a week where one of us is going, like, so when I'm going to Mexico for a wedding, we should record 2 episodes, something like that. So having that stuff, definitely being on every platform, definitely, taking tips from other podcasts or other people if we start getting comments and taking them seriously and improving the pod in that way. I think one should be having. I know it would change the like background that we would use for the videos and stuff, but having guests on the podcast, I want to start having a couple of people. Not every podcast, but every so often, especially if we know in advance we're talking about something where we know a person who has a lot of input on it. So when we're talking Marvel or some of these series, for example, Fisher, I've talked about him before. He is big into it, and he would be a great person to come have on and talk about God of War Ragnarok because he just finished it, or like some kind of movie series that he likes. I know, like for Pokemon, my friend who's not even a streamer, my friend Bobby he recently found the podcast, even though I told him about it when we first started. And he listened to a couple of episodes. He enjoys it, and he thinks it's like hilarious because he just thinks we're dumb. But but he loves One Piece and stays up to date. So in One Punch Man, so like he's not a streamer. We could just have him dial in or whatever. But whenever we talk about it, that was on the bullet list. But I think we'll skip that and do that next week. And Modern Family we should do this week.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm trying to think if there's. Do you have any other kind of resolution for pod? Maybe I don't know. Well, I mean, we could. We mentioned it a little bit earlier too. I think we could add in a presence. Start posting on Twitter. Start posting. I mean, I need to start doing this more for myself in general. So it would be a added boost of do it more for me, and then it would force me to do it more for pod, or do it more for pod. It forces me to do it more for me.
Yeah.
So more content outside of just YouTube and podcast forums, Twitter, TikTok, and other maybe like a YouTube Shorts
is
doing
like
some YouTube
I would
Shorts.
argue is more beneficial in terms of growing than TikTok. I mean, if you're making one, you might as well post it on both. But just like numbers wise, I think like I have a YouTube Short that has like 1.4K views, and on TikTok my most is like 200.
I already know my first YouTube Short, by the way. It's
Isn't it
me eating that
Metroid?
fucking jalapeno.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna edit it down. I found it. I know what part it's in. It's in it's in Final Fantasy, I think, part 12.
Oh,
So yeah, that one. And then squatting with Zeus. Side note: if I had to squat with Zeus now, I don't think I'd make it. He's 85 pounds. He was 50 when I did the squats.
that's crazy.
I can lift him still, but he's a lot heavier. So yeah, I'm glad that I did not pull that one out now.
But yeah, just in terms of like other reviews or other goals that I didn't want to do, is like because I the reason I got this idea is because I was watching Ludwig stream. Obviously, that's where I get all my fucking ideas for anything.
Yep.
Where he was doing
The
this,
Mecca. The
yeah,
Mecca of
the
all
meta
tips.
or Mecca, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he was doing goals that were like, this many views or this many things. I can't do that because I'll crush myself. If I'm like, hey, I want an average of 4
Hey.
and I'm an average of 3 right now, even not making that little goal would just crush me morally or mentally.
Yeah, it would be tough. Yeah, I wouldn't want to set any hard number goals at this point.
But if we reach a point where like let's say we get like 50 views an episode, that I think would then be feasible to be like in this year I want to reach an average of like 75 an episode. When you're smaller, I think it's harder to set those goals.
Yeah, I mean when it's 3, it's harder to say I want to double it to 6.
Listen, I will
Honestly,
say
it is harder to do it at that point because it's positive reinforcing loop.
yeah.
The more views you get, the more new viewers you're going to find and reach, and then the more views you're going to get and everything. So
I will say though, well, first of all, I don't know if this person's listening, but I did get a follow from my Twitch. So shouts out that. Second, since we changed the thumbnail meta, our views were going like this, and then we switched the thumbnail meta, and now I mean they're going back down again, but they spiked for a couple episodes when we switched the thumbnail meta.
that's funny because Fisher told me Fisher's like, oh, new thumbnail. I like this. He said now it makes me want to watch the video or lesson. I know he wanted to watch before, that son of a bitch, but yeah, I think the new thumbnail is actually godly.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
I will say
I can't imagine improving it much.
I stole it. Like hand to God, I didn't come up with the triangle meta, but I've seen 2 other podcasts use it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess in case we get called out eventually for stealing. I stole it from Fear and, which is Hassan Piker's podcast. And then I also saw The Yard do it. So they don't do it anymore. They did it more so at the beginning, more earlier episodes. Fear and still does it. But listen, I stole it. Hand to God. I'm not trying to act like I didn't. I came up with it myself. It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I approved the theft, so I'm in it with him. I think it looks much cleaner and much better. Yeah. It's more engaging, so also, I don't mind. We could steal everything. I don't care.
I'm dark as shit in my room, so I need to turn on the light.
Yeah, that's fine. I really can't remember if I have any other New Year's resolutions. Keep my girlfriend happy. Probably one. I know. Oh, okay. I kept talking. Oh, okay. The only other New Year's resolution I can think of is keep my girlfriend happy.
That's all. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. Damn straight. So yeah, that's all I can really remember. I think I'll probably have maybe like a couple more. Maybe if I look through the list, I should have brought it in here and just read off of the list. But if there's one major one that I missed, for example, I could just mention it in the next episode.
And then a year from today, we will or I'll re-listen to this segment and we will say,
And we'll see if we
meet
did it.
or do we not?
Well, I have them written down, so I'll know if I did it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we'll skip. So I've been wanting for a couple of weeks to talk about One Piece because of the things that are going on. I'm a little bit behind, but we were kind of behind at the same pace, so it
I
would have
caught
made
up
sense.
today, but
Well,
I
I'm
think
gonna
we're
catch
still,
up by
yeah.
next week. So we'll push that off to next week because I think we'll end up going on tangents for like an hour about it.
Yeah.
It's like it could be the whole episode again, the same way the first One Piece one was.
Yeah.
So let's do the Modern Family season 1 rewatch and review. As a little note, I am like at episode 5 or 6 of season 3. So if I'm talking about stuff from season 2 or 3 or even my previous knowledge of the last watch, I apologize, but Vinny will keep me honest on this one.
It's still a 10 out of 10. I love this show so much. I watched the entire thing. It's currently the 8th. I started season 1, which is 24 episodes, on the end of the day on the 6th. Like I didn't even have 2 whole days to watch it, but it's incredible. I love this show.
I honestly laugh out loud more watching this show than I do watching The Office or
Same.
New Girl. It's just constantly laugh out loud funny, which is not something I can give to. I love New Girl. I love The Office. There are episodes where I'll watch and I'll know it's funny. You know, I'll chuckle maybe a little bit, or maybe I'll just know it's funny and I don't have a reaction. But in Modern Family, I'm just laughing out loud about, and it's not even just all this like slapstick kind of humor. There's some aspect of that, but the smart humor too. When sometimes it's just the longer looks at Gloria when she says something that's obviously outlandish, she says something and you know it's like a double entendre. She doesn't, but the person interacting with her does, and they just kind of stare at her and give her a look. That to me gets me almost more than having Jim wrap Dwight's desk in wrapping paper, like make a wireframe wrapping paper thing.
Yeah.
So it really is way more laugh out loud funny. I think the show starts off strong, which is not true for every comedy out there, but showing the dynamic of the entire family and the entire cast in that episode was perfectly encased.
Oh, also, like I didn't know this the first time I watched it because they did a good job of hiding it. But now like looking back, it's like, oh yeah, it's obviously that they're doing that. The first time I watched it, I had no idea Julie Bowen was pregnant in the pilot. Every time, you see that she's blocking her stomach, like she's holding laundry, she's behind the counter. You can totally tell they're hiding it now. But the first time I watched it, I had no idea.
I think at some point in season 2, she's also pregnant. You can see one scene where she has kind of a little bit of a baby bump, and then after that, you don't see her stomach again.
Yeah.
Or you do, and it's totally flat, but totally different outfit, definitely shot on a different day and everything. So maybe that part of the episode was shot before she started showing and stuff, or they had to do reshoots of that episode later on down the road after she had become pregnant. So yeah, no, that they hide that in sitcoms all the time. They did it with Jess and New Girl at the start of season 6.
Yeah.
They put her in the baggiest clothes possible to go to jury duty. They made her bag cover her stomach and everything, and then literally she gets called for jury duty and she's off the show for X episodes. They bring in Megan Fox. Everyone hates that part of the show, but I have no problem with it. I think Reagan is a very good character. Actually, I think she fits well with the group. Anyway, this isn't the rewatch and review of New Girl. But anyway, for the first episode, I really think they set the tone fantastically in the first episode. I mean, you know what dynamics you're going to get. Old guy, young hot wife, who's a very dedicated and loving wife and is not like a gold digger and doesn't love him just for his money and stuff.
She's not a gold digger. She does not dig coal.
Yeah, she does not. She does not dig coal. I forgot that was in season 1. I wasn't sure if that was season 1 or 2. You have Manny set up as this character that's this romantic 8-year-old kid who's way mature for his age. He plays it perfectly. I'm sure that actor was just a kid and he played that role really well. You have the goofball Phil Dunphy and you have his very non-goofball wife.
That relationship, I'll say it, is goals in life.
Yeah, I think so too.
Phil and Claire.
I think so too. Phil constantly getting in trouble, Claire constantly like catching him, but then forgiving him pretty easily because he's just this like lovable goofball.
I think one of my favorite jokes in season 1 is when they're flying the airplane and he gets hit in the head and they're dragging him back into the couch and they're like, oh my God, what happened? He's like, I was in a plane crash.
Yeah. Thread the needle. He was threading the needle. We've seen you thread the needle 100 times, Dad. You never miss. All
Mhm.
right, so maybe he was annoying me.
Also, I really because like I think it's recency bias that like I remember Jay not being such a shitty character, but he really starts off as a shitty character.
He does, and it's funny because later on they kind of address it, and I think this is in season 2, but Jay and Manny have like kind of like a heart to heart where Jay is trying to hide something from Manny, and Manny's like, "Why'd you lie to me?" And Jay's like, "Well, we didn't when we started out, we didn't have a great relationship."
Oh
But
no,
it's
that's
funny
season 1.
because that isn't season 1, the raccoon thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that isn't season 1, but it's so weird. That part is a little bit out of timeline flow because the
Mhm.
start of season 1 they don't have a great relationship. It almost seems like he just met Manny,
Yeah.
and
Because
rather
it
than
was 6 months.
he's 6 months into their relationships when they got married or
Well,
whatever.
no, 6 months. Oh yeah, so I guess they were in a relationship before, but they got married 6 months before.
They dated for like a year or two before they got married, like officially,
Oh,
like
okay.
in the story, I think. So he's known Manny for years at this point, but it really seems like their relationship is still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And so they kind of retcon that with later episodes, I think. But they really Jay's character arc is he goes from the hard ass dad who stayed the hard ass dad the whole time to Manny softens him.
Yeah.
Manny, and then having
But also like his
because he
relationship
becomes a
with Mitchell,
grandfather, and yeah,
like
yeah,
is very not good. I can't think of a word. But like you could tell like at least like it seems like before the show started, it didn't seem like they were having like family barbecues every week. And then when the show starts, it seems like that happens more often.
yeah. When it kicks into gear, I think
Yeah.
that part of that is, I mean, he already was a grandpa, but I think they kind of transition him through over time. Maybe they maybe speed it up. Maybe it was always the plan and they sped it up. But they transition him from being the hard ass dad to the fact that he's a grandfather and a dad at the same time. It softened him, so
Mhm.
he's more of a well rounded father to Manny.
Yeah.
And he has made all. They frame it as he's made all these mistakes. He knows he made them. In the first episode or a few episodes, it sounds like he doesn't really care that he made the mistakes or realize he made the mistakes.
Yeah.
But then with Manny, he doesn't want to make the same mistakes, so he does kind of come to terms with it. Um, I also love his relationship with Phil
Oh yeah.
because that stays consistent way beyond season 1. Like
Mhm.
Phil tries to get his approval and like some kind of affection from him. Jay stays old school. Don't show the affection kind of thing.
Yep.
Uh,
Hang on,
yeah,
let
you
me.
go.
I'm trying to see what. Oh, one of my least favorite bits in the whole show, like that just keeps going on and on and on. I don't know how I feel about Fizbo,
Fizbo.
the
Yeah,
clown. Yeah, he
I
comes back like
Cam is
5 times, but I
basically
love.
my favorite
Yeah,
character, so it's hard for me to hate Fizbo. His first appearance is awesome though.
yeah.
I think his first appearance as Fizbo is awesome. I think continuing that storyline.
Well,
I mean, they don't
I
really
love like
overuse it.
that they don't. I knew because this is our rewatch and review, but I love that like they show you in the hospital and you don't know who's there, and they flash back and they keep going, they flash back and keeps going
Yeah,
back and forth. That's my
and
favorite
they
part of
keep
the episode.
introducing a new character in the flash forward, so you know that person's not the one that's in
Yeah,
the hospital. Like they show up. Oh, what happened? You know, it's just, so
yeah,
you're like, all right, it's not Jay. All right, it's not Gloria. All right, it's not Claire. You know.
yeah. But no, I think it's still. I could rewatch the show. I think because The Office I've seen once, and yeah, it's fine. I don't care to rewatch it though ever. I had a friend in high school who's literally seen Office probably like 7 times in high school.
I think for the office tangent again for the office, I think the first watch is good. I think multiple watches makes it a lot better and a lot funnier, but I think there's a cap.
Yeah.
So I'm rewatching it. So Karina's never seen it, so I'm watching it with her for the first time. We still have to finish. And there are parts that are genuinely funny. They actually, on Peacock, they have a lot of super fan episodes where they extend it. So instead of 23 minutes, the runtime is like 38 minutes, 40 minutes. They have a ton of extra
Oh.
scenes in there that add to the story of that individual episode.
Mhm.
So it's still new content for me. It's still great. I think there is a cap to how often it'll be funny, mostly because the characters themselves are just characters. There is no real interchange between them. You don't, Stanley is not, you don't see Stanley's barbecues where he invites over his employees or his
Yeah.
coworkers.
Mhm.
You don't see any of the heartwarming moments. You just see them working together. You don't see, besides some of the key relationships and the key characters, you see him at home. Dwight and Jim and Pam, you see them, outside of the office setting. But all the side characters, you barely ever see them unless they're with one of the main characters.
Yeah. I
So
also
Modern
think
Family gets that benefit of they're family, so they're always interacting in ways that don't necessarily that you wouldn't see in other sitcoms. They're going to get haircuts together because someone's car broke down, and who would
yeah.
you call? You'd call your dad, you'd call your brother, that kind of
I
thing.
think one of the things also that Modern Family does well in the end is you never see like the people, the film crew. They're always just like is you never see anything with that. I think that's one thing about Office that I don't like about the end is that the film crew became characters.
Yeah, I think that's because some of the cast was leaving
Yeah.
because their careers took off.
Like that whole thing
But
with like Pam almost like falling in love with one of the filmmakers or whatever.
yeah,
Horrible
that was
storyline.
weird.
I hated that.
That was weird. The last season there, the last season there when they do that, it's so unrealistic based
Yeah.
on the history between Jim and Pam and everything.
Yeah.
And they try to make it seem like, oh, we had lunch with all these, cameramen, and we have dinner over for dinner. We know all their families and things like that. So you know more about them than you know about your coworkers that you're in this
Yeah.
documentary with for 10 years.
Exactly.
I think the difference there is in the office it starts the very first episode they're telling you it's a documentary.
Yeah.
There's a film crew there and everything. They're always having these cutaways. Modern Family, they do the cutaways, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
And they kind of, it seems like, especially early on, I noticed this. Sometimes they had the crew or the cast look at the camera and then realize they were on film and change what they were about to say and things like that. But then they get rid of that.
Yeah.
So I think it changes from, yes, this is a documentary about like the new normal for an LA family or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes more of just a general run of the mill sitcom. You don't need everything explained to you. You can just have a suspension of disbelief or whatever you want to call it. And you just take it for what it is at face value. You have these cutaways for humor purposes. You don't need them to admit at the end like it's a documentary about this or it was all, a film. It was a sitcom set in the world of a sitcom or something like that.
I
You
just
don't
think it's
need
also like
that stuff.
it's crazy like because obviously the last time that I've seen any of these characters were season 11 or whatever. And they're all like old as shit. And then going back and seeing Luke like so young is so weird. And
Yeah.
Lily's literally a baby and she becomes one of the funniest characters in the show.
Really? Lily never really grew on me that
No,
much.
I think
Lily,
like late Lily, kinda early Lily, obviously middle Lily, like when they're going to the restaurant. One of my favorite scenes in Modern Family is when they're at the pho restaurant and like every time someone like walks to the table, it sounds so bad out of context. Like at one point, some people walk by the table and Cam's like, just go back to your country or something. And he was saying something in context, but it wasn't that. Or like when Lily's like, I'm gay, and she doesn't know what she's saying. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, those things are funny. I don't know. I think that
I will say
that
I
actress
like
was one of the worst ones.
I think toddler Lily is better than toddler whatever the second kid of Gloria is.
I forget that kid's name too. When we get to that season, I'll know. But yeah, Lily is. I mean, the first two seasons, it was this one set of twin babies, and then the parents didn't want their kids to continue on, so they recast her as a little bit older. I don't know. She never really grew on me that much. I mean, I'm in season 3, just seeing the very beginning of her having speaking lines.
Mm-hmm.
And she is toddler, so it's starting out okay. But I remember her being one of the weaker parts of the show for me. I mean, if I had to rate characters though, and relationships, it's really hard. Yeah, I know your top is Phil. I really like Cam. He makes me laugh so often. But Phil, like, I'll go back to the pilot. Phil has some of the best moments. I mean, the one that always has stood out to me for forever, really, is when they do the Simba.
Mm-hmm.
This is our baby, the ha and all that stuff. It's always funny, man. I love that leading up to that, like Mitchell lets it slip and then or says that they're thinking about it, and the family is just like, "Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?" And they literally already did. They came back on the plane, and then Cam just enters with the baby, and then Jay is like, "Oh shit, foot and mouth kind of thing."
Mm-hmm.
What do I know? I messed up raising you guys. But it's Phil's line at the very end. What's her name? The whole family together. Lily. Won't that be hard for her to say?
That's
like
so
the
funny.
race. It's. I mean, it's a little bit racist, but
it definitely is, and it wouldn't be made today. But I remember I like audibly gasped.
I
when
don't
I
know
heard
if it would not be made today because it's not overtly racist. It's just like a commentary kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it would be. It definitely wouldn't be in pilot.
Yeah.
I think it would be
Oh,
in an
you know what we
established
should
show.
do? You know what we should
But
do?
it's funny because
One of
like I
the
didn't even catch it. My dad caught it the first time we ever watched it. He
Oh,
was like,
really?
"Won't that be hard to say?" And I was like, "Wait, what does that mean?" And my dad was like, "Well, because for Asian accents, they don't really pronounce the L's very well." I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, right."
Um, the one of the creators of Modern Family made a Hulu original,
Oh yeah,
and we
yeah.
should watch that and then see if it's like it has like Keegan Michael Key, it has Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, what is that? I've seen
It's called
commercials for that.
Reboot, and it's about an early 2000s sitcom. It's rebooted, and the cast comes
Yes.
back together. It's
Yes.
only 8
Okay.
episodes, so we should watch that.
Is the first season done?
Yeah.
Okay, we can watch that at some point. Yeah. I don't know if we want to watch a few more seasons of Modern Family
No, yeah,
first,
I'm gonna
or if we
keep
want to.
watching Modern Family, but you're way ahead. So
But you'll catch up in an instant, probably.
watch fucking
Now that you've
Office.
started it, now that you dipped your toe in,
Yeah,
I'm sure your free time is going to be you're going to finish the whole fucking show.
but see, the thing is I want to
Oh.
watch fucking um a bunch of other shit that's on pause because I started watching this for 2 days straight. So we'll see.
All right, yeah, all right, valid, valid.
Also, I want to
Um,
see if How I Met Your Father's bad, so we should watch that at one point because I'm sure it is.
yeah,
But then again, it got renewed for a second season, so maybe it's
that's
not.
Hilary Duff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like Hilary Duff. I always thought that she was. I thought I liked Lizzie McGuire when I was a
me
kid.
too. It was a little past
So
my time. Like I think it was over. I just saw reruns, but I liked it, or my sister liked it.
yeah, I'm sure it was just past your time because it was literally like prime of my time.
Yeah,
So it was just past it probably when the show ended. First,
yeah.
because it was yeah. I'm trying to think like more that I was gonna say. I mean, if I had to rate it, I'd probably say also 10 out of 10. The beginning of season 2, I really want to talk about the first episode of season 2 just because it's the I think it's the first episode where they're all in the restaurant. It's the similar style of storytelling as the hospital episode where they're all in the restaurant, everyone has a mad look on their face, and Manny's standing up giving his birthday speech.
Mm-hmm.
And they start with it, and everyone's just pissed off looking at each other. So you see why they're all pissed off at each other when they go to the restaurant.
Oh,
But in that episode, that's the one where Gloria, I think in the first season, they kind of toned down how rough she could be. Like at first, it was like, yeah, she's from Colombia, she doesn't speak like perfect English.
mm-hmm.
Manny was born in America, speaks fine, and everything like that. They kind of introduced the dad. Um, but in that episode, Jay gives Manny a BB gun as his birthday gift, even though
Mm-hmm.
he's like turning 9 or something.
Oh no,
And
that's
Jay just
episode
says to
8.
him, episode
That's-
8, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's episode 8 of season 1?
season 2.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, whatever. It's still in the same story. I like it a lot. And in that season, they really turned Gloria into more of a badass
Mm-hmm.
than in season 1, I think. Because, so he gives him the BB gun, and Gloria gets a little bit upset about it or whatever. And then Manny's like all upset that Jay says that he never really had a childhood. So he's sitting on the float. I never opened it. I thought to myself, who would want this? A kid. A kid would want this. And then Gloria's saying that they have to go to the restaurant. He's like, nah. And then she pops the thing. Hey, you could have shot me. Oh, please. I could have unbuttoned your shirt if I wanted to, that
Yeah.
kind of line. And then Jay is like hiding her keys as part of that episode. And he's going to put him in the ice bucket at the very end to kind of teach her a lesson because she left them on the floor
Mm-hmm.
or something. And she literally shoots the ice bucket and he just puts the keys down and backs away holding his hands up and stuff. Like I'm trying to think of which. I think Cam is one of my favorite characters, but I think the relationship of Cam and Mitchell is not my favorite one
Yeah.
when it comes to terms of funny. I think the funniest relationship I think is Jay and Gloria, because Jay has no problem, even though it's second wife and it's with the freshest relationship, he has no problem messing around with her. I mean, maybe it's the puppy love,
Yeah.
beginning your relationship, you're still messing around with each other. But he has no problem like just being his authentic self with her because he's older and stuff. Maybe is the reasoning behind it, but just picking at her and insulting her. Phil is deathly afraid of insulting Claire.
Yeah.
Cam and Mitchell insult each other constantly, but unintentionally, and immediately apologize all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have like the most serious emotional reactions to when the other one isn't as supportive as they should be, or something like that. So I think Jay and Gloria win for me when it comes to favorite relationship for humor. I think Claire and Phil, or like Phil and Cam, are close to tied for my favorite characters on the show.
Gotcha.
And then as far as kids, I don't even know which one. I mean, I have to get later in for them to really like be funny to me. Luke is he's not as funny to me, like his just general stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Haley is ridiculously stupid. It's hard to fathom someone being this stupid.
But it's so funny sometimes.
But it is funny. It is funny how she just says the wrong word. Alex calls her out on it, and she's just lost. Like
I
she
love
just
the bit where they're talking about a door-to-door salesman, and Luke's like, if you were going, it'd be a dork-to-dork salesman, and then to get revenge, she tells him that he's adopted
and
with Phil's
convinces
ex.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time he comes into the room, Phil's ex-girlfriend's like, I could just take you home, and Luke's like, I don't want to go with you.
I like it here.
Yeah.
I like it here. And he cries and he runs out of the room like 4 times in that
Yeah.
episode. Yeah. Like, and even Haley's like, really? You went there for dork to dork salesman?
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning. Oh, that's so good. And I mean, I think I really, really like Phil's just absolute airhead attitude. He doesn't even think a second thought that his ex-girlfriend might actually want to bang him.
That's crazy.
It never crosses his mind. Like, it has to at least enter your mind as in a realm of possibility. But for him, it's like, no, of course not. Of course I'll show you to the bathroom. And then she tries to have sex with him.
Mhm.
Like, and then he's trying to tell Claire, and Claire's like, no, she's great, because by then she wins her over and stuff. Like, it's those stories, and maybe it's not the first time it's been done in sitcoms, but I think it's perfected in Modern Family.
I agree.
All the things that they do, especially early on there. Even if it's rehashes from Friends or Seinfeld or any of the other great classics, Cheers that I've never even seen, things like that, whatever storylines, wherever they may have been before, they're great. Oh, and for Fizbo's first one, I really, really like Fizbo getting out of the car and really bullying the guy that hit Mitchell with his car. Because Mitchell, of course, he's going to back down when the guy gets in his face, but then Cam gets out, and Cam is like a brick shithouse. Like, you're not going to mess with Cam. And he literally shoves the guy into the gas pump. And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, you fucking get him, Fizbo. That piece of human garbage doesn't deserve gas in that truck. You should also blow up his car. Like, I don't know. It's just, and then the juxtaposition of him saying we're going to be late by pulling out the comically huge clown alarm clock that's going to go off, saying we need to get a move on. We're going to be late. And he puts it back in his jacket. And that's right after he literally assaulted a guy to tell him to apologize to his boyfriend because he hit him with his car.
Yeah, it's the little things like that are just hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's the little things of the show really get me to laugh out loud more than like the overtly big things that are meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's all the minor nuances of the characters, the looks that they give each other. I think even from the pilot, and maybe this is just a testament to how like them being good actors, but I really think that you feel that they're a legitimate family right from the beginning. It didn't take a lot of time for the cast chemistry. They obviously cast people who had great chemistry right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep watching like crazy.
Too.
I really should slow down. Maybe I should convince Karina to finish The Office or something, so I don't get so far ahead of you, and we can keep doing this while we're still close to each other.
Catch up. But we are at 1:47. My dog's barking, so
yeah, I have to clean up and try and vacuum the whole house for this tick. I gotta vacuum the whole fucking house. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, listening. Next week we'll probably do a One Punch Man, One Piece episode. Just catching up with that.
We might do more. Maybe if I start, maybe if we both start Black Clover or something by then.
Oh, true. Yeah.
To talk about the manga compared to the anime and things like that.
Yeah, we could do that.
But probably an anime episode.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for. I already said that. You didn't hear it here first. You didn't hear it here last. You heard it here. ... Eventually. Cue the outro music.